I'm just listening to what you say about the book there. It seems like it might be a bit of a tool for people. I see this on Twitter a lot. Now, I'm not much of a Twitter user. I only go there for content, for videos. That's the only, and jokes. That's the only reason I go there. I follow a lot of woke progressive people. I get on Twitter for 20 minutes. I freak out. I've got a panic attack. I've got to chill out. All right. It's
Yeah.
just it's an insane place. But it seems like in what you just said, a lot of people are discovering that if they say the wrong thing, quote unquote, they will have this woke army coming for them. And how do they deal with that? I see it with these, maybe let's say a feminist group. They see something that a man has said that they can take on board and think, well, that is horrible. That is misogyny. That is X, Y, Z. They take that on board and then they say, right, we need to destroy this bloke. We need to find out where he works, who's his partner. We need to find out where's his kids go to school. And we're going to share all that information and then we're going to go after him. Because he has said something that is slightly misogynist or completely misogynist, horrible, we need to destroy him in every single sense of the word. That is such a strange tribal attitude. And I don't know where it's come from.
Well, I think where it's come from mostly, and you're right, this really is what the heart of the book is about, because I'm trying to give people the tools to think for themselves, but it's not just thinking for yourself. It's thinking for yourself and then being able to apply that to the world. And the only way you can do that is if you conquer this monster. Because yes, it's not just if you maybe said something misogynistic or something totally misogynistic, it's just if they apply that label to you. So in many cases, it's not that anyone's done anything racist or anything like that. You might just say that men and women have different biological differences. We all know that. That is a fact, right? And this is, I'm sure you know of Douglas Murray, the great writer from the UK. He always says it's like we're suddenly debating things that we've known to be true. Now they're all up for debate. That's not a good sign for society. And my other, the other line that I love from him, he always says, when the barbarians are at the gate, we're going to be debating what gender pronoun to call them. And I think that's sort of where we're at right now. Instead of dealing with the actual issues of the day, let's really talk about the important things of society. Instead, we're debating about gender pronouns, and we're debating about all of these things that we've settled already. And when I say settled, I mean from a Western perspective, but particularly from an American perspective. If you live in America, you're a citizen of America, you are free. That's the only privilege there is. You are privileged because you grew up in the freest freaking place ever. It does not mean it's perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, by the way. I think that's one of the flaws of the left. They think that they can create a perfect system. And we can't create a perfect system because we are not perfect. So they're debating things that have long been settled. And they do it in an oddly religious manner. So it's very weird for me because, as you know, I was a lefty. My whole life I was a lefty. I thought I was a good lefty. And then I started seeing some weird things. And it was like, guys, how is it that everyone we disagree with is a racist and a bigot and a Islamophobe and all of these things? Like, that just doesn't add up. And the second I started just asking those questions, as a lifelong lefty, the hate that I was getting was unfreaking believable. And then the odd thing, and I think you've probably been through a version of this, and I've met a couple, I've done a couple podcasts with some Australians, and I've met some Australian comics that are sort of seeing their own version of this. Suddenly, you're thought of as a good lefty. You kind of wake up, you think about things a little bit differently, and then all these people on the right that you thought were the bad guys, they're like, hey, I'm over here. You want to chat? Let's chat. Let's agree to disagree. Let's have a beer. Let's go out. Let's shoot the shit. It's all good. And that is a very shocking thing for people, because I think our factory settings are sort of taught to us like, oh, Democrats good, Republicans bad, lefties care about poor people, Republicans or people on the right care about money, you know, Democrats are for peace, Republicans are for war. These are all just like 2D, very childish arguments, but it takes a lot to get out of that and be able to say, no, I'm not a misogynist. I'm just laying out some basic truth here. But you got to have the balls to do it.